Have you ever wondered what happens when a woman refuses to shrink herself to fit into society's narrow standards of beauty? When she decides that her curves are not a flaw, but a masterpiece worth celebrating. That is the story of Gracie Bon, the Panamanian model and Instagram star who transformed her uniqueness into a global movement. Gracie's journey begins in Panama, where she was born and raised. From a young age, she was drawn to the world of fashion and creativity. But unlike many girls who looked through glossy magazines wishing to look like the slim models they saw, Gracie believed beauty could not be limited to one size or shape. She carried herself with quiet confidence, even when the world around her often made it difficult for curvy women to shine. In her teenage years, the challenges became clearer. The fashion industry was, for the most part, unforgiving. Opportunities for plus-size or curvy models were scarce, and many aspiring talents were told to slim down in order to succeed. Gracie, however, refused to let those voices define her path. Instead of changing herself, she chose to change the narrative. Her tool of transformation? Instagram. With just a camera, confidence, and a desire to share her truth, Gracie began posting photos that reflected her personal style. At first, it was a way to express herself, but soon the world began to notice. Her page exploded with followers drawn to her authenticity. Unlike many influencers who presented only polished perfection, Gracie was real, genuine in her message, and fearless in her presentation. But her rise to fame was not free of obstacles. A criticism came, as it often does to women who defy the norm. Yet Gracie turned every harsh word into motivation, reminding herself that her journey was bigger than her alone. She was creating space for millions of women who had never seen themselves represented in mainstream fashion. As her following grew, so did her opportunities. Brands from across the world reached out, eager to work with someone who could connect so powerfully with audiences. Gracie collaborated with swimwear, lingerie, and fashion lines that celebrated inclusivity. She was no longer just modeling clothes, she was modeling confidence, showing that elegance, sexiness, and style were never defined by size. What makes Gracie Bon stand out is not only her beauty, but also her entrepreneurial spirit. She transformed her platform into a career, working with international fashion houses and building a reputation as one of Instagram's most influential curvy models. But beyond the photo shoots and brand deals, she carries a much deeper message: self-love, empowerment, and the celebration of individuality. Her followers often describe her as a role model, not just for the way she looks, but for the way she inspires them to embrace themselves. In an era where filters and edits dominate social media, Gracie's authenticity feels refreshing. She shows the glamorous side of fashion, yes, but also shares pieces of her real life, making her relatable and approachable to millions across the globe. Gracie Bon's story is one of resilience, authenticity, and empowerment. She reminds us that success comes when you dare to stay true to yourself, even when the world tells you to change. Her journey proves that fashion is not about fitting into a mold, but about expressing who you are. And now, I want to leave you with this. If Gracie's story inspires you to embrace your own beauty and wear your confidence with pride, then join us here in this community. Like this video, share it with someone who needs a boost of self-love, and subscribe to the channel, Sweet Models World. Together, we will continue to celebrate the models and influencers who are reshaping fashion and inspiring millions around the world. Gracie Bon is not just a model. She is a movement. And her story is only just beginning.